Evening. Welcome to House Groups. We are continuing in our Happily Even After Marriage series. This week we're talking about communication and conflict. On Sunday morning, we covered 10 biblical principles for communication. My hope is that, maybe it wasn't all 10, but that there were two or three, maybe even four principles that you really resonated with and maybe felt like that was something you could begin to work on, whether you're married or not. Now, for those of you that are married, if you haven't yet, one of the things I want you to do is sit down with your spouse this week and talk about those 10 principles. What are the few communication principles that the two of you in particular really need to work on? This is actually a good question to ask your spouse. Say, honey, could you, now very gently now, could you let me know what's the one communication principle that you think I could work on? Now, remember that one of the principles is that humility is the foundation of good communication. So if they say back to you, yeah, it was the one about the God gave you the two ears and one mouth, I just really wish you would listen and just understand me better. You can't interrupt them and say, whoa, no, whoa, 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 whoa. I feel like you never. It's humility, humility, humility. You can't grow unless you're willing to change, unless you're willing to acknowledge that you might need to change. And so you need to, every once in a while, as a couple, sit down and evaluate your communication. Ask, how are we doing? How could we improve at this? Because you can't resolve conflict without good communication. You can't actually even improve your communication if you don't actually sit down together and try and evaluate your communication as well, but always doing so humbly and gently. For a lot of you, this is something you don't normally do, so kind of just start with treading some water. And for those of you that are, you're 3 weeks in this series and you're thinking about your marriage, and honestly, you're in a really tough spot in your marriage right now. Now, I believe that some of these principles will certainly be of help to you, but I suspect that it won't be enough, especially if your spouse doesn't want to participate in this with you. This is where I said this on Sunday morning, that you need more than just general advice, you need specific advice. And by the way, this is another reason why we have house groups. So you can get good, godly, specific advice. If you've kind of been 3 weeks in now holding back, this is the week where I want you in small group to just start talking about what's really going on in your marriage. Open up, be honest, let these godly people speak into your life and help you. Be open to do whatever it takes to work on this covenant of marriage that you're in. Start developing a strategy of prayer. Seek counseling, doing whatever it takes. Because if you're going to restore a marriage that is in a tough spot, it takes a ton of work. I mean, those types of things aren't solved with one message or one podcast or one seminar. But I just want you to know that God can restore them. He's in the business of raising the dead. He can raise even a dead marriage. And I just pray that you believe that he can. Amen.